Okay, so on October 30th, 2025, a pretty critical safety update came down the pike for the entire Airbus A320 family. It's Airworthiness Directive 2025-0207R1, and it's all about a potential failure point that could have some really serious consequences in an emergency. Today, we're going to break down exactly what this means for you.
So here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to cover everything from the core problem all the way to a clear action plan. We'll kick things off with why this directive was even issued, then we'll nail down exactly which aircraft are affected. After that, we'll walk through the technical side of things and, of course, what it all means for your operations. By the end, you'll have the complete picture.
All right, first things first. What is this directive really all about? Let's get right to the heart of the issue. The whole AD, really, it boils down to one single but super critical material upgrade. We're getting rid of these nylon bushes, which, as it turns out, are a weak spot, and replacing them with much, much stronger bronze bushes. Now, this isn't just some minor part swap. It's a fundamental upgrade to the structural integrity of the passenger seats.
So you might be wondering, why all the focus on these small parts? I mean, what was the trigger for this huge, fleet-wide mandatory replacement? Let's take a look at the specific safety risk that really put this on EASA's radar.
Yeah, this wasn't some theoretical problem they found in a lab. Nope, these were real-world failures happening on aircraft that were out there, in service. Reports started trickling in about broken bolts in the seat rail connections, and that is a massive red flag that regulators just can't ignore. And the potential consequences? They are severe. In EASA's own very stark wording, this situation could lead to seats literally detaching during an emergency landing. This is the exact worst-case scenario this whole directive is designed to prevent.
Okay, so with a risk that big on the table, it is absolutely crucial to know exactly which aircraft we're talking about. Let's dig into the scope of this directive.
And let me tell you, the scope is broad. We're talking about the entire A320 family, the A318, the A319, the A320, and the A321. Basically, every single one of these jets is affected unless it already has one of two very specific production mods incorporated from the factory.
And it gets even more precise. This isn't a blanket replace everything kind of deal. The AD targets very specific locations. We're talking fuselage frames like FR-35 and FR-47, and others depending on the specific model. This means your maintenance teams have to be incredibly precise. Think of it as surgical work, not a broad overhaul.
Okay, so we've got the problem, we know which planes are affected. Now for the most important part, the solution. What exactly do you need to do to comply? First up, the deadline. You've got 72 months. That's 6 years from the original issue date. Now that might seem like a lot of time, but it is a firm deadline that every single operator needs to get on their long-term maintenance plan right away. The process itself is a pretty clear 4-step mandate. First, you have to identify the nylon bushes in those specific locations. Second, you replace every single one with a new bronze bush. Third, and this is critical, all of this work must follow the specific instructions in the Airbus service bulletins. And finally, this is a permanent fix. Reinstalling the old nylon parts is strictly forbidden. Now, for all you folks on the ground, in planning, supply chain, and maintenance, this right here is the key info you'll need. This table, pulled straight from the AD, gives you a simple cross-reference from the old nylon parts to the new bronze replacements. It is an absolutely essential tool for making sure you order the right parts and kit the job correctly. So, moving beyond just the technical details, this AD has some pretty significant implications for planning and management.
If you're on the management side, you really need to get ahead of this. We're talking budgeting for the parts and labor, scheduling the necessary aircraft downtime, which will probably be during a major check, and putting a system in place to track compliance across every single tail number. Oh, and if you lease your aircraft, it's absolutely crucial to figure out the impact on your lease return conditions. And you know, tracking that progress is absolutely key. At any given moment, management should be able to get a clear, top-level view of their fleet's compliance status. With a 72-month window, being proactive about tracking is really the only way you're going to guarantee you meet the deadline without any last-minute surprises or operational headaches.
All right, let's bring this all together. What are the key takeaways here? Let's wrap this up with a final call to action.
Let's be crystal clear. Compliance with this AD is not optional. It is a mandatory safety requirement, period. Success here really depends on seamless coordination between all of your teams, from planning and engineering to maintenance and supply chain, to get this modification done on time across your entire affected fleet.
Ultimately, this directive is about so much more than just checking a box for compliance. It asks a really fundamental question. Is your fleet's passenger safety secured at its most basic structural level? This AD provides the plan to make sure that when it matters most, the answer to that question is a definitive yes. As always, for all the specific details, make sure you refer to the official EASA documentation.